Alright guys, it's finally here. It's time for a battle between two apples. Wait, apples? Yeah, that's right, apples. It's the Voigtlander 50mm apple versus the Leica 50mm apple. And I know there has been a few reviews online already, like the one did by Steve Half. But in today's video, I'm going to give you a more thorough comparison, and to make things more interesting, I've also thrown the 50 Summilux ASPH into the comparison because, as Peter Kuiper said himself, this is actually also an Apple design. So I'm curious to see how it performs against the other two real Apple lenses. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so now you've seen the comparisons. What's the verdict? Well, at least for me, the Voigtlander is definitely a winner here. Being only 1/10 of the price of the Leica, it performed almost as good as the Leica, maybe except for in the extreme edges where the sharpness and chromatic aberration control of the Leica lens is a little bit better. And I'm actually quite surprised to see that the Voigtlander actually got better flare resistance than the Leica. And as for the Leica 50mm Summilux, yes, it's more expensive than Voigtlander, but in Leica terms, it's actually a great value for money lens. Because at f2, I think the center sharpness and overall chromatic aberration control is almost as good as the other two Apple lenses. Yes, its edge performance is definitely worse than the other two lenses, but it's also got a 1.4 aperture here, which means it performs better at night, and also wide open you can get some really creamy bokehs, which the other two lenses simply cannot compete. So overall, it is also a lens that I highly recommend. And I really think Leica should put Apple in its name. Okay, next up, let's take a look at the design and fit and finish of this lens. Well, it's certainly not as pretty as the other two Leica lenses. I'm not a big fan of this silver metal ring in the front. In terms of its aperture ring, it's well damped, got this really nice clicky sound. And the focus ring is actually really smooth. Now, compared to the Leica 50mm Apple, it's quite a bit larger, even though they weigh about the same. The Voigtlander is not only longer, but also has a larger filter thread. Compared to the Leica 50mm Summilux, they're about the same length, but the Voigtlander is definitely lighter because this silver Summilux is actually made of brass. So I imagine if it were the black one, they should weigh about the same. Okay, so I think both the Voigtlander 50 Apple and the Leica 50 Summilux are great lenses for their money, but if you want the absolute best performance of them all, maybe aside from flare resistance, then the Leica 50 Apple is still the crown jewel here. Okay, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give me a thumb up and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do so, and I'll see you in the next one.